Okay, so Magomed Ankalaev got binned by the UFC. Apparently, it seems as if this guy is gonna get put in a toy box down the basement because Dana White doesn't want him anywhere near Alex Pereira. Basically, the UFC flipping the coin on Magomed Ankalaev winning the light heavyweight belt would be completely catastrophic for the UFC. This is basically the highest risk and lowest possible reward combination in MMA currently, and so it's not surprising. They promote to all of us that UFC and MMA is some kind of a sport. This is not a sport because it's not based on merit. And of course, if you have a spectacular win against anyone, if you can be promoted easily, if you are from a nation that's huge and can be promoted into different markets, then you're going to get pushed. You're going to get title opportunities. Magomed Ankalaev getting binned once again. If this was based on sporting merit, it would make the only sense for Ankalaev to fight for the belt against Alex Pereira. And basically, the UFC light heavyweight division is a complete dumpster fire, and I'm going to explain why. So here, if we see this table over here is the rankings. So in the top 10 of the UFC light heavyweight division, only three guys coming off of wins in their last fights. So as we see here, Prohaska, Hill, Blachkovic, Rakic, Roundtree, Ozdemir, and Johnny Walker. I don't know if this has ever happened in the history of the UFC, but basically most of these guys coming off of losses in the top 10. And as we all know, Magomed Ankalaev is the only guy that makes sense for the next fight. And of course, the UFC, they are refusing to make this matchup for some reason. Actually, I already explained the reason, but of course, I'm talking about the sporting aspect. The sporting segment, it doesn't make no sense. Uh, Magomed Ankalaev should be deserving for the UFC light heavyweight title shot. But as we've seen here from Alex Pereira, basically tweeting it won't be Ankalaev. Something is happening behind the scenes, and the UFC, Dana White, they're not telling us what's going on. What's going on with this dumpster fire? Basically, they're going to be needing the entire 2025 to set up this division properly. Pereira basically beat almost all of these guys in the top 10, and Magomed Ankalaev is the only real possible threat. Uh, I'm a little bit indifferent for this because for me, I understand that the UFC is not based on sporting merit, and but something is happening behind the scenes. So as we've seen here, I'm going to show you him and his translator or whatever this guy is. They had a meeting in Las Vegas, probably with Dana White, discussing next possible moves.
Essa reunião aqui. Ó o sorriso do garoto como que tá, né? Hein, Ed? Chama ou não chama? Chama. Estamos em Las Vegas, pô, agora voltando pra casa. Pô, muito satisfeito aí com a reunião. Bom, feliz demais, cara. Pô, essa reunião aqui. Conta ou não conta? Não conta. Ah, não conta.
Non quoto. Shama un shama. This guy, basically, this is very bad news for Magomed Ankalaev. So there are a couple of theories floating around. Basically, Alex Pereira probably fighting John Jones, but I highly doubt it because they are probably making John Jones against Tom Aspinall. Uh, I've been seeing on the internet this ridiculous matchup between Hamza Chimaev and Alex Pereira. This makes no sense whatsoever. They're going to sacrifice one of their superstars, and it basically leads to nothing. Pereira defends the belt against Chimaev, leads to nothing. Also, Chimaev winning the belt again at light heavyweight leads to nothing. He's not going to be in this division. He's not going to be defending the light heavyweight belt. And so, yeah, this is what happens when the UFC do not promote these fighters. In the last couple of years, the promotion has went completely downhill. Basically, these people, all these Ruskies, all these people from the Caucasus region, they need to promote themselves. They cannot string a single sentence together, and they have no support from the media, no support from the UFC. Dana White doesn't even care anymore. He only wants to oil up John Jones. He only wants to cuddle up with several of these guys in the UFC, and is getting completely embarrassing. More concerned about the ridiculous uh, fighting sport that he calls slap fighting. It's basically ridiculous. So we're gonna see Ankalaev getting binned again, and this UFC light heavyweight division is a complete mess. So they're gonna need an entire year to fix this up because probably waiting for Carlos Ulberg against Jan Blachkovic. They're gonna see what's gonna happen with that, and also Prohaska and Jamal Hill. They are also fighting each other, so possibly they're going to need a single year to fix all this because Pereira, as it stands, they do not want him anywhere near Magomed Ankalaev. Basically, even if this was a 50-50 fight, if he was to beat Magomed Ankalaev, it would lead to nothing. He's already a superstar. It's not going to make him any bigger, any more, or any less. So, of course, the problem is very, very high risk and very low reward. And this is the UFC, I think, making big mistakes. Alex Pereira should be fighting Ankalaev and not going into these ridiculous freak show matchups against Chimaev. No. Against John Jones. No. He has to defend the belt against Tom Aspinall. And all these other things that I'm hearing on the internet are complete rubbish, completely ridiculous. But this is currently what's going on, and people should keep an eye on the UFC light heavyweight division because it's a complete dumpster fire. And I'm going to be keeping my eyes very close. I'm actually very much interested in the Jamal Hill and Yuri Prohaska fight. I think it's very interesting. Both these guys got knocked out dead against Alex Pereira, and we do not know in what kind of shape, mental, both these guys are coming in. Jamal Hill has issues with injuries. Yuri Prohaska has been knocked out dead several times, so his chin is going to be questionable. And so, yeah, there are interesting things happening. But Ankalaev getting jail time, getting put in UFC prison once again, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. This fight needs to happen. It's the only thing that makes sense sporting wise. And even if you want to promote this freak show of a fight, I wouldn't be excited. For Hamza Chimaev against Alex Pereira, it's a ridiculous freak show fight. So I'm not interested in that. It's a complete rubbish, complete waste of time. And yeah, the UFC, they need to fix up. Dana White needs to fix this up. You cannot patch all this up with ridiculous freak show fights. People should be defending their belts accordingly and not running away from Magomed Ankalaev. And even in this matchup, I think it's 50-50. Anything can happen. It's not as if Ankalaev can steamroll Alex Pereira that easily. Of course, the matchup might be a little bit tricky, but of course, Alex Pereira can do something. Maybe Alex Pereira is an old man. He's up there in age. I think he's, let's see, 37 years of age. So probably the UFC need to find a way to cash this guy uh, the best way possible. So cashing this guy on Magomed Ankalaev from business perspective is not good. So these are all the things that's going on. Of course, Dana White was promising us something like he's gonna probably make some fight, but I do not believe anything this guy has to say. I don't believe he's gonna make a super fight that's gonna blow our minds. Like, so I got something in the works that you'll never see coming for 2025 that literally started coming together last night. I don't believe this guy. I don't believe anything this guy has to say. Literally anything coming out of his mouth can be bullshit. And I'm not buying any of this. Until I see evidence, until I see something official, I do not trust this guy anything. Anything. This guy is a snake, oil salesman, and this guy is rubbish, rubbish. So that's all for the video. Enjoy.